That's Crofis. And that is Hazelman from the elbow. She puts it up and in for 2. So Hazelman with 4 of Putnam Elite 6 in. The score 6-2. Putnam Elite on top by 4. On the right wing. That's Oliver. That's 3-point look. That's up. That doesn't fall for Miracle. And pulled down by Putnam Elite. Pushing it up ahead is Crofis. Crofis going to set everything up for her team. Putnam Elite wearing the black jerseys. Team 419 wearing the white. And that's Fortman. Fortman into the paint. Kicking it outside. And into the low post it comes. Underneath. Putting it up no good is Crofis. And offensive rebound there for Putnam Elite. And then there's a loose ball. And that jump ball is going to favor Putnam Elite. So we'll keep it at this end. We're just a little over 2.5 now. A little under 2.5 gone by actually. It's 11:34 showing on this clock. And it's a 6-2 Putnam Elite lead. Fortman is going to play the point this possession for Putnam Elite. Over it comes to Crofis. Crofis looking for somebody to pass it to. She finds Fortman. Fortman into the short corner. Bounces it underneath. That's up no good for Nice. And pulled down by Team 419. Defensive rebound. That's Clark. Going to take it coast to coast. Put it up and in. Clark for 2 makes it 6-4. If this is any indication, this is going to be kind of a fast-paced game. So buckle your seatbelts. This looks like it's going to be a good one. Underneath, and there's a foul. That's a foul on Team 419. And that was Schrader who was driving it to the hoop. And are they going to say that she was in the act of shooting? I do believe they are. And so Schrader, who's got 2 points so far, will have a chance to add to her total here with 10:52 still to play in the first half. Schrader at the line. Front end of this 2-shot situation does not fall for her, as there are 3 substitutions here to speak of for Team 419. 11, 24, and 35. 11 Sage, 24 Miracle, 35 Horstman. Schrader's second free throw attempt falls. So the score 7-4. Putnam Elite on top by 3. On the other end, that's Sage. Sage into the short corner. She'll take a shot. That falls. So Sage for 2 cuts it to a 1-point advantage for Putnam Elite, 7-6. And that'll be Fortman playing the point. She's got Sage on her. Fortman, little crossover into the paint. She comes, and she is bumped in the paint. And that'll be a foul on Minig. The second team foul on Team 419. As Crofis inbounds. She finds Hazelman. Back to Crofis. She puts it up. That doesn't fall. Rebounded by Minig. Minig is tied up, and that possession arrow will favor Team 419, so the defensive rebound will basically stand here for Team 419. Sage playing the point. Horstman on her. She gives it off to Horstman. Miracle. Back to Oliver. Oliver attempts a shot. That doesn't fall for her. And there's a scrum for that loose ball. And a lot of scrappy plays here so far. And you got to love seeing that. You got to love seeing that hustle on both sides. And that possession arrow favors Putnam Elite. Fortman gets the call from the Putnam Elite sideline. She'll take it herself, kick it outside. There's a shot for 3. That's no good. Rebounded underneath by Hazelman, who puts it back up and in there. And the score 9-6. Putnam Elite on top. So Hazelman has 6 of Putnam Elite's 9. Sage. Outside to Horstman. Tied up. And again, here's another possession arrow situation. It'll be Team 419's ball, but I do believe we have had 4 jump balls here, and we're not even 5 minutes gone by. You gotta love seeing that. You gotta love seeing that kind of defense. And that's Sage. Kicking it outside to Horstman. To Oliver. Back to Sage on the right wing. Sage into the corner. Passes it back to Minig. Minig. And looky, another jump ball. It's going to come back to Putnam Elite. And a line change here for Putnam Elite. 5 in, 5 out. And then on the part of Team 419, that'll be Allmeyer checking in and Horstman checking out. That's Sumner. Sumner playing the point. She gives it off to Turnwald. Back to Sumner. Puts it up. No good. Out of bounds it goes. And it's going to come back to Team 419 out off of Putnam Elite. Nine to 6 the score. Little over 8 minutes to play here. As Sage attempts a three-pointer. No good. Offensive rebound by Clark. Clark puts it back up and banks it in. Clark for 2, 9 to 8. Putnam Elite on top by 1. Sumner playing the point. She's got Sage on her. Into the corner it comes. Thinking about a three-pointer. Taking that three-pointer and making that three-pointer is Turnwald. Turnwald with her first points of the ball game makes it 12 to 8. On the other end, that is Clark. Clark, a little bounce pass over to Allmeyer. Allmeyer will take a shot from the free throw line. That doesn't fall for her. And out of bounds it goes. And it's going to go off of Team 419 and back to Putnam Elite. Both teams, by the way, in case you're wondering, I mean, obviously, as the name suggests, Team 419 from Northwestern Ohio. Same thing goes for Putnam Elite. Most of them from Putnam County, but also a couple of players from here in Ada as well. So, a couple of home teams here at Ohio Northern University playing in this 8th grade game. On the other end, that's Putnam Elite. Hermiller into the paint. That was Niemeyer, and she misses that shot. There's a jump ball, and that's going to favor Team 419. And there's a situation here with the scores. Let's get this sorted out.
It's a scoreboard.
So apparently the scoreboard on this side was also controlling the scoreboard on that side, and right now, okay, because see, we've got 3 courts going on here right now. We're here in the middle court, and the court to the left of us is showing the same score and time that the scoreboard here shows, and so that's what this little stoppage of play is all about. The court to the right of us is okay, but the court to the left of us is still synced up with this one, and so they're going to get this sorted out. Good time for me to remind you, we're going to have GBA action here all day long. Of course, we had a 9th grade game a little bit earlier. This here is an 8th grade game, and of course, we will have plenty of coverage to come all day long here on GBA TV on both Facebook and YouTube. And by the way, like GBA on Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube as well. So here's the schedule of events for today. After this one, we'll have a 6th grade game against Always 100 Elite versus Lima Sparks. Then it'll be an 8th grade game between Team 419, this same team we're seeing right now, against the Miami Valley Hawks. Then a 7th grade game between the Northwest Hoop Stars and the Glass City Fury. Another 7th grade game to follow that, the Lima Sparks against Mac Vision. And another 7th grade game. So a triple header of 7th grade action there. Finley Bombers against the Cincy Swish, followed by an 8th grade game. The Ohio Lady Warriors against the Buckeye Pride. A 9th grade game. The Finley Bombers against the Miami Valley Hawks. A 6th grade game to follow that. The Miami Valley Hawks against Triple Threat. A 7th grade game to follow that. The Ohio Lady Warriors against the Miami Valley Hawks. And then the last game of the day will be a 10th and 11th grade game between the Lady Warriors and the Northwest Hoop Stars. And so, plenty of action to come all day long here on GBA TV. It is the 15th annual Northern Shootout here at Ohio Northern University. Jeremy Scott here at courtside alongside Kayla Cazell. She's the one manning the camera as we continue to try to get the scoreboard situation all worked out. And it looks like the other game is going on as we speak, and they are still dealing with this. They just rebooted everything, and it's still showing the same score and time on both sides. So we will continue to try to get this whole thing sorted out. So that's why there's this stoppage in play. And there's a technician here. Looks like one of the scoreboard aficionados from Ohio Northern is trying to work his magic. And it looks like we're going to resume action as they continue to work things out here. We'll keep you updated on that. But this score is correct. It is 12-8, and we are under 7.5 to play here in the first half. It's Team 419 on offense, and that is Allmeyer. Allmeyer losing control of it, gets it back. She's in the corner, and she's kind of trapped, and she tries to bounce pass it, and she gets it back. And Allmeyer tried to find number 22, Clark, but had it go behind Clark and intercepted by Putnam Elite. Putnam Elite on the other side. That is Hermiller. Hermiller attempts a three, and it's taken down by Clark. No good. As Clark pushes it down the floor. Clark into the short corner. Clark double teamed on the baseline. There's a pass outside to Allmeyer. Allmeyer attempts a three-pointer, and that is long off the back of the iron. No good. Pulled down by number 10, Gable. Gable has it for Putnam Elite. Gable over to Sumner. Sumner is the true point here for Putnam Elite. She is guarded by Sage. Into the low post it goes to Hermiller. Hermiller puts it up. That doesn't fall for her, and it's taken by Team 419. Sage pushing the ball back down the floor. 12-8. Team 419 down by 4, and that shot doesn't fall for her, and there's a foul. And that'll be a foul on Putnam Elite, their second team foul. And Sage, who was in the act of shooting when that foul was committed, will step up to the charity stripe for 2. First shot up, first shot good. So she's got 3. As Minig checks back into the ballgame for Team 419, and Miracle will sit. Sage's second shot is good. So 2 for 2 from the line goes Sage, and it's 12-10. Putnam Elite on top by a bucket. Sumner takes it herself into the lane, puts it up, that's no good, taken by Clark, and out of bounds it goes, poked out of bounds there by Sumner, and so it will remain Team 419's ball. We're at 5:55 to go here in the first half. As we continue to have the scoreboard situation, by the way. Still trying to get that worked out, but this score is correct. As Clark puts it up on the baseline, that's no good, and trying to save it from going out of bounds was Hermiller, wasn't able to do so, so it will remain Team 419's ball. As Clark will inbound. Into the low post, that's Oliver. Oliver saves it. Gives it off to Allmeyer. Allmeyer at the foul line. Allmeyer kicks it out to Clark. Clark for 3, no good. And rebounded by Oliver. So an offensive rebound here for Team 419 keeps them in possession. Into the lane goes Clark. Nice move by her. Wasn't able to convert, though. And there's a rebound by Allmeyer. She puts it up. That's no good. And rebounded by Clark. So a lot of offensive rebounds here for Team 419. And finally converting is Selhorst. She's got 4 points, and she just tied up this ball game. It's 12-all. Very nice sequence here if you're a Team 419 fan. You got to love the hustle on the offensive glass. And the cross-court pass is knocked out of bounds. And that'll be Miracle checking back in here for Team 419, and taking a seat will be Clark. She's got 4 points. Turnwald will inbound here for Putnam Elite, and she does to Gable. Gable into the low post it goes, and that's a shot that doesn't fall. Offensive rebound. That one is up. That's no good. Another offensive rebound. Following her own shot was Hermiller. She was able to convert, and Putnam Elite back on top by 2. Into the short corner. And having it stolen away. That's Sumner on the steal. Sumner pushing the ball up the floor on the fast break. It's 3-on-1 right now. Sumner takes it herself. Up and good for 2. 16-12. Putnam Elite leads it by 4. 4:20 to go here in the first half. as Allmeyer with a nice little crossover dribble, takes it in the lane, puts it up. That doesn't fall for her, and there's a jump ball situation as she passed it off to Selhorst, and the possession arrow will favor Putnam Elite. A lot of jump balls here in the first half. And there's a quick three-point attempt for Sumner that doesn't fall. Offensive rebound, no good off of that shot by Hermiller. And she gave it off to Gable, but Gable traveled in the lane, and so it's going to come back to Team 419 with 3:54 to go. And a timeout is called on the floor by Putnam Elite with 3:54 to go. Putnam Elite leads it 16-12, and we'll be back right here on GBA TV. It's 16-12. Putnam Elite leads it. Team 419 on offense. Putnam Elite called that timeout and taking it to the other end, putting it up and in there is Selhorst. Selhorst really didn't have a whole lot of competition as she took it down and put it up for two. The score 16-14. Putnam Elite leads it by 2. On the other end, that is Fortman, who's checked back into the ballgame for Putnam Elite. And she passed it off to Crawfus. Crawfus wasn't able to handle the pass, tried to save him from going out of bounds, slid across that boundary line as she tried to save him from going out, and so it will come back to Team 419. And there's another tie-up. I do believe this ball will stay at this end, so good job there by Putnam Elite to basically get this ball. Nope, it'll be Team 419's ball. My fault. Hard to keep up with these possession arrows because I tell you what, there have been so many changes. And there's an interception, intercepted by Sumner. Sumner has it for Putnam Elite. Sumner takes it back down, bounce pass over to Schrader. Schrader puts it up and in. Schrader with 5 makes it 18-14. 419 back on offense. That's Miracle. Up ahead it comes to Selhorst. And that was a travel there on Team 419. So it comes back to Putnam Elite. Sumner over to Schrader. Bounce pass into the low post. That is Hazelman. Hazelman puts it up. That's partially blocked. And it's Team 419 who ends up with it. That is Clark. Clark pushing the ball down the floor. Gets it across the timeline. Clark pulls up. Clark is going to take a shot. That doesn't fall for her. Offensive rebound. And it spins in there for Oliver. She has her first 2 of the ball game. The score 18-16. On the other end, into the short corner. That's Schrader. Schrader for 2. No good. Hazelman on the offensive rebound. Hazelman puts it back up. That falls. Hazelman's got 8. Putnam Elite's got 20. Team 419 has 16. A little bit of a press here as Clark is able to get it across the timeline. She gives it off to Sage. And Sage passed up the 3-point opportunity into the high post. Kicks it outside. That's Clark on the drive. Clark on the shot. No good. And rebounded by Putnam Elite. Hazelman pushing it up. She gives it off. On the other end, putting it up and in there for 2 is number 4, Fortman. That's her first 2 of the ball game. 22-16 now the score. It's a 6-point advantage, and there's a steal by Putnam Elite in the backcourt. And not able to save it, not able to do anything with that turnover, Putnam Elite. And so it's going to come back to Team 419 off of that out of bounds. As Allmeyer checks back in for Team 419 and Minig sits. On the other end, it's Horseman giving it off to Sage. Sage for 3, doesn't fall. And that is Sumner. Sumner on the right wing. That's a 3-point look. That's no good. And taken by Team 419. Allmeyer on the rebound. Up ahead to Sage. Sage on the drive. Sage on the hook shot. That doesn't fall. And there's a scrum for that loose ball, and it will be Putnam Elite's ball. That's Fortman. Fortman up ahead. Fortman into the lane. Fortman bounce pass, and that's over to Crawfus. And Crawfus fouled on the shot, so I do believe she will be stepping to the line for a pair of free throws. That foul, I do believe, was on Horstman. I do believe I saw the referee signal a 3 and a 5, and Horstman wears number 35, so that'll be a foul on her. That's the third team foul on Team 419. As Crawfus's first shot falls. Clark sits, as does Oliver for Team 419. Crawfus back at the line for the second of these two free throws, and that one does not fall for her, and it's taken by Team 419. So 23-16 is the score. We're at 1:10 to play. 1:10 and winding on this first half clock, and that's intercepted. Intercepted by Sumner. Sumner pushed the ball up the floor. Sumner takes it herself. That's no good on the lay-in, and rebounded by Sage. And there's a foul in the backcourt. That's the third Putnam Elite foul. With under a minute to play, 59.1 exactly. And Team 419 finds itself in a 7-point hole. Not intercepted. That's actually a steal, kind of pickpocketed there. And that's Schrader. Schrader, bounce pass into the low post. And that's Hazelman, who got fouled on her way up to the basket. And so Hazelman will step to the line for a pair of free throws of her own. That is the fourth Team 419 foul. So Team 419 with 4 team fouls, Putnam Elite with 3. As Hazelman has a chance to add to her 8 points that she already has so far. First shot up for Hazelman, and falls. 24-16. As Hermiller and Turnwald check in, and Schrader and Crawfus sit. Hazelman back at the line. Hazelman gets that one to go. She has double digits. She's got 10 points, and Putnam Elite leads it 25-16. And there's a full court press. That press works for Putnam Elite. That's intercepted, and it's taken and put up and good for 2 for Hermiller. And now it's a 27-16 ball game. And again, that press working for Putnam Elite. And they're going to call a travel on Putnam Elite. So even though they stole the ball away, they're going to get, I do believe that was Hermiller with a travel. Or no, that'll probably be Fortman with the travel, because she was the one who was down on the ground with the ball. And the press is beaten this time by Team 419. Up ahead it comes. That is over to Selhorst. Selhorst back outside to Miracle. Miracle. Up top it comes to Clark. Clark spins. Clark into the lane. Clark with a shot. Clark good. 27-18. Putnam Elite leads it by 9 with 3 seconds to play. And able to get a shot off at the buzzer. That falls. Nice shot by Sumner there. She used the backboard to her advantage to make it a 29-18 game at the half. We will be back. Putnam Elite leads it by 11. And we are back with this 8th grade game between the Putnam Elite and Team 419. The Elite lead it by 11. It's Jeremy Scott here at courtside alongside Kayla Cazell on camera. And it'll be Team 419's ball. Team 419 trailing by 11 to begin this second half. And that'll be Clark to play the point here. And we are underway. Gives it off to Allmeyer. To Miracle. Miracle. Underneath. And not able to convert is Oliver. And it's Putnam Elite who ends up with it. Fortman pushing the ball down the floor. Fortman going to take it coast to coast, put it up and in. Count the bucket and the foul. And that foul on Miracle, number 24. That's the first team foul of the second half for Team 419 as Fortman has a chance to make this a 3-point play. Fortman at the line, and that does not fall for her, and that's taken by Oliver. So Fortman makes the 2-point bucket, but not able to convert on the N1 as there's an interception. Intercepted by Crawfus. Crawfus pushing the ball down the floor for Putnam Elite. Crawfus taking it herself. Crawfus putting it up. That's no good, and it's rebounded by Team 419. That was Selhorst on the rebound. So Clark with Fortman on her. Over comes to Miracle. Miracle with a air ball taken by Crawfus. Crawfus. Bounce pass. And there's a scramble for that loose ball. Who are they going to say this favors? They're going to say that it favors Putnam Elite. That's who the possession arrow favors since Team 419 got the ball to start this half, so it'll stay at that end, and it'll be Crawfus doing the inbounding over to Fortman. Fortman with Clark on her. Over to the right wing and Schrader. Schrader, a bounce pass to Hazelman. Hazelman, who has 10 points. Hazelman with a shot that doesn't fall for her. Offensive rebound for Hazelman. She puts it up and in there. Hazelman now with 12 points. She's got a dozen of Putnam Elite's 33. They lead it by 15, 33-18. On to the right wing. That is Miracle. Over to Oliver. Oliver going to be called with a walk here. So it's going to come back to Putnam Elite, who continues to increase its lead. And, of course, if they go up by 20 or more, it will be a running clock as long as that 20 or more point lead stays. Over to the right wing, that's Schrader. Schrader has it knocked out of bounds by Allmeyer, excuse me. As Crawfus inbounds it. Underneath, and there's a loose ball. And it's Putnam Elite who ends up with it. There's a shot that doesn't fall. Rebounded by Neese. Over comes to Fortman, who puts it up, and Fortman not able to convert. Rebounded by Clark. That's Miracle. Up top to Oliver. That doesn't fall. Oliver follows her own shot, and Oliver bounces it outside to Clark. Clark, that's a 2-point shot. That doesn't fall. And another offensive rebound by Team 419. So good job here by Team 419 to keep this possession alive as Clark puts it into the paint. That's no good, and there's a shot by Oliver that doesn't fall. And so after all of those offensive rebounds, Team 419 not able to get any points out of that possession. Into the short corner. That's a shot wide open and good for Fortman. It's 35-18. Clark giving it off to Miracle. Miracle in the high post. Back outside to Clark. Clark into the paint. Kicking it over to Selhorst. And that'll be a foul on Crawfus. That is the first Putnam Elite foul. As Team 419 makes a few substitutions. 11, 13, and 35. 11 Sage, 13 Minig, and 35 Horstman. And that is Sage playing the point. She has Fortman on her. Stolen away. That is Crawfus on the steal. And are they going to say... I think they're going to get Sage with a foul. I think that's what happened there. So that's the second team foul on 419. And it is Putnam Elite's ball. Fortman playing the point. Fortman bounce pass into the paint, putting it up, and no good. Rebounded by Team 419. That's Oliver using that size to her advantage to pull down that board. Sage giving it off up ahead, and into the paint it comes. That's Oliver pivoting, putting up a shot, and Oliver's fouled on that shot, so Oliver will step up to the free throw line, and she will attempt a pair. Do believe they're going to get Hazelman on that foul. That's the second Putnam Elite foul as a team, but it will be Oliver stepping to the line for Team 419 for a pair. First shot up, and it is nothing but the bottom of the net there for Oliver. She has 3 points. Her team's still down by 16, and no good on the second shot. And that's Fortman. Fortman has it knocked away from behind, and Hazelman goes down to the floor for it, and good job by her to keep this possession alive. And that's a 2-point shot. That is a bank shot, good for Crawfus, 37-19. Putnam Elite up by 18. Sage, that's 3, no good. Rebounded by Oliver, and then it's knocked out of bounds, and they're going to say it went off of Oliver last. So Hazelman and Oliver kind of tied up there, and then they're going to say that Oliver touched it last. So Putnam Elite gets the ball back with a chance to go up by 20. And, of course, if that happens, that means a running clock until Team 419 can get the deficit to inside 20. Elite back on offense. And that is Fortman with Clark on her. Fortman. Kick ball out of bounds there by Clark. So it'll remain at this end with 9:26 to go in the second half of this 8th grade game. Of course, after this, we'll have a 6th grade game between Always 100 Elite and the Lima Sparks. On this end, that's a shot on the runner by Crawfus, that doesn't fall, and it's pulled down by Team 419. Clark back up ahead. Over it comes to Minig. Minig takes a 2-point shot that doesn't fall. That's a little bit short for her. Rebounded by Nice. And that's Crawfus. Crawfus up ahead. Short corner shot. Good. And that is Schrader for 2. Makes it a 7-point game for her. And right now it is Putnam Elite 39, Team 419 19. So it will be a running clock until Team 419 can cut this deficit to within 20. Cross-court pass over to Allmeyer. Allmeyer on the elbow. Tries to pass it off, and it's stolen away by Crawfus. Crawfus on the steal. Crawfus up ahead. Crawfus with an outlet pass. Underneath it comes. That's a shot that's up, and no good. But she will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So not quite able to make this an and 1 was Schrader, but there was a Team 419 foul, and so Schrader will go to the line, and she will attempt a pair as there is a timeout on the floor with 8:32 to play in the second half. The score, Putnam Elite 39, Team 419 19. We'll be back. Back to the action here. It'll be Putnam Elite inbounding. No, I'm sorry. That'll be actually Schrader at the free throw line. Kind of got lost in the shuffle there with all that was going on. There's been a lot of action in this game. And Schrader not able to convert on that shot to make this an and 1, so she'll go to the line for 2. Schrader at the line. First shot up, first shot good. Increases the lead to 21. It's Putnam Elite 40, Team 419 19. Schrader back at the line. Back end of this 2-shot situation falls. And so Schrader with 9 points makes it 41-19. Putnam Elite on top by 22. That's Clark. with Turnwald on her. Over the left wing and Minig. Bounce pass into the short corner. Pivoting. Shot. No good for Selhorst. And it's Putnam Elite back on offense. Sumner pushing the ball down the floor. Sumner taking it coast to coast. Sumner with a shot. That's no good. And rebounded by Oliver. Oliver on the defensive glass. And has it knocked out of bounds. And so it will remain on this end. But again, that clock will continue to run as it is a 22-point advantage here for Putnam Elite. Inbounds to Oliver with a shot. That's no good. And that's rebounded by Oliver. She gets her own shot, puts it back up, and she puts it in there. Oliver, nice effort all game long by her on the glass on both ends. And she's got 5 points. The score, 41-21. Putnam Elite on top by 20. Left wing. That's Gable. Gable back up top it goes to Turnwald. Over to the right wing and Sumner. Sumner for three, no good. And rebounded by Allmeyer. Team 419 could stop this running clock if they can convert here with a bucket. There's a shot. That's no good for Minig. And chased down, out of bounds, off of Hermiller. And it's going to remain on this end. So numbers 24 and 11 will check back in for Team 419. 24 Miracle, 11 Sage. And sitting will be Allmeyer as well as Clark. On the floor, and there's a tie-up. And it will remain at this end. It will remain Team 419's ball off of that jump ball. So the possession arrow favors Team 419. They'll keep this. Inbounds it comes. That is Miracle. Miracle for two, no good. Rebounded by Hermiller. And Putnam Elite back on offense. Sumner. Right wing, Turnwald. Underneath. Putting it up, that's no good. And there's a scramble for that loose ball. It's Putnam Elite who ends up with it. And able to put the ball up and good for two was Hermiller. And the score 43-21. That's Allmeyer back into the ball game here for Team 419. On the runner, no good. Pulled down by Sumner. Sumner up ahead. That's to Hermiller. Hermiller underneath. Lay-in, no good. Just a little bit short. I'll tell you what, there was nobody there to contest that shot. She just didn't have enough oomph on that layup. And it's Sage's ball here for Team 419 as Sage is going to be called for an offensive violation here, and it's going to come back to Team 419. I'm sorry, to Putnam Elite. That's Sumner. With 5:40 and winding, it is a running clock. She gets a pick over there by Niemeyer. And Sumner on the drive, able to get that one to fall. She's got 6. The score, 45-21. That's Oliver on the elbow. Oliver into the lane. Oliver on the drive. Oliver fouled. And that's a Team 4-1. I'm sorry, that's a Putnam Elite foul. That's the third team foul on Putnam Elite. And it'll be Oliver at the line. She's 1 for 2 at the stripe here today. And she's got 5 points total. Not able to get the first one to fall. As Horstman checks back in. And Selhorst sits. Second shot. No good for Oliver. Pulled down by Hermiller. So Oliver, 1 for 4 now at the line on the day. Keeps the score, 45-21. Putnam Elite on top by 24. There's a three-point shot. That's up, no good. And pulled down by Gable. Gable not able to do anything with that offensive rebound. That's Niemeyer on another offensive rebound. That's Hermiller for 3. That one's short, and that one is taken by Sage. Team 419 back on offense now. Sage pushing the ball down the floor. Sage will look for somebody to pass it to. She will find somebody to pass to. That's Horstman, who gives it off to Miracle. Miracle back to Sage for 3. No good. And there's a scramble for that loose ball. I do believe this one will favor Team 419, yes. So Sage playing the point here for Team 419 as she has done for most of the game. as Allmeyer runs, puts it up, and good. Allmeyer gets her first 2 of the ball game, and the score 45-23. On the other end, 3-point shot. That one doesn't fall for Turnwald, and it's pulled out by Team 419, who could, with the 3, stop this running clock. Allmeyer up ahead, and she's tied up, and this one will favor Putnam Elite. As Clark checks back into the ball game for Team 419, and it'll be Miracle sitting. And that is Sumner. She'll take a shot from the short corner that doesn't fall, and that's taken away by Oliver. Nope, they're going to say that's a foul. And they're going to get Gable with that foul. That's the 4th Putnam Elite foul. So they've got 4 team fouls. Team 419 has 3, and we are at 3:20 to go here in the second half. Team 419 down by 22. Sage giving it off to Horstman. Horstman. Cross-court pass, and they're going to get Horstman with a walk here. So Horstman on the travel. As Minnig checks back in for Team 419, and Sage will sit. On the other end, there's a 3-point look. That doesn't fall, and it's pulled down by Hermiller. Hermiller with a shot. That doesn't fall, and there's another Oliver rebound. I tell you what, she has been all over the glass on both ends all day long. Give her a lot of credit here in what appears to be a losing effort here for Team 419, but a lot of credit to Oliver for that hustle on both sides of the glass. Team 419 on offense. Underneath to Oliver, she puts it up, and that is good. Oliver has 7 points. It's a 20-point ball game. Putnam Elite 45, Team 419 25. Turnwald over to Sumner. Sumner on the right wing. That's a shot by Hermiller. That's up and good. 8 points for Hermiller. 47-25. Putnam Elite on top. Under 2 minutes to go here in the second half. Clark on offense here for Team 419. She gives it off to Allmeyer. Allmeyer into the paint, kicks it out to Oliver. She takes a shot. That doesn't fall for her. That's rebounded by Turnwald. And there's a timeout called by Putnam Elite. I do believe they're about to make a line change here with 1:44 to go here in the second half. We'll be back right here on GBA TV. All right, I thought the Putnam Elite coach signaled for a timeout. He just wanted to make substitutions. So we'll keep this clock winding, and we'll keep this game in progress. Putnam Elite on offense. That is Fortman kicking it over to Crofis. Crofis over to Hazelman. Shot no good. Out of bounds. And it'll remain on this end. It will remain Putnam Elite's ball. And we're at 1:15 with a winding clock here in the second half. That's inside to Hazelman, who gets fouled on her way up, and now Hazelman will step back to the free throw line. She's 2 for 2 there on the day. She's got a dozen points. She's got a chance to add to that total because of that 4th Team 419 foul. Hazelman at the line, good on the first. Hazelman's second shot is not going to fall for her, so she's now 3 of 4 at the line. The score 48-25. It's a 23-point lead here. There's a press here by Putnam Elite. Putnam Elite on defense, really applying a lot of pressure there in the backcourt, but good job there by Team 419 to beat that press. That's Clark, who takes it coast to coast, puts it up and in for 2. Clark's got 8 points. Nice looking drive there by her. It's 48-27. We're under a minute to play. We're at about 45 seconds to play now here in the second half with this clock continuing to run. Fortman on offense for Putnam Elite. A little bounce pass. Over comes to Nice. She puts it up. That's no good. That's taken down by Clark. Clark pushing the ball up ahead for Team 419. Clark. Cross-court pass over to Allmeyer. Allmeyer back outside to Clark. She passes up the three-point attempt, decides to take a little runner, and is able to make that runner. Clark now has 10, and the score is 48-29. So that running clock theoretically not in play now, but with only 15 seconds to go, Putnam Elite could theoretically just kind of dribble this one out. But nope, there's a jump ball. Nope, they're not going to say there's a tie-up. There's a loose ball. Now they might call a tie-up. No, still no tie-up called. I think they're just trying to run this clock out, and they finally do. So that is how this one will end with the final 48-29. It'll be Putnam Elite taking this one over Team 419 in this 8th grade game, and we'll be back with plenty more action right here on GBA TV.